In this video, we're going to be covering how to install the VMware Horizon client and how to access the virtual machines. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to this web page, which is, well, I'll just highlight it there so you can see it. I'll put it in the notes below, but it is https://desktop.okstate.edu. And you should have a link to that that has been sent to you by email so that you can find it. Once you get to that web page, you're going to want to install the VMware Horizon client. Now, this is the computer client. This one over here is the web client. The web client will work, it will not work as well as the computer client. This one will be slower. It's just the nature of web clients. I would only use the web client if for whatever reason the computer client simply won't install, or you find yourself in a pinch with not being able to get to your normal computer at home. So I'm not going to click on this now because I've already installed it, but you would click on this, follow the directions, and install it. It may ask for your OKState password and email. That's fine. It's built for that. Once it's installed, oh, and you will get a choice between a Mac or a Windows version when you install the Horizon client. So once you install it, you're going to get a icon that looks something like this little green one here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and try to enter the VM server. So first choice that I get is under new server. By the way, I've already gotten this set up. So if you do click on this and you get some windows that are asking again for your password, that's completely normal. Just put in your password and your OKState email. As a student, you should already be registered to access the VMs. However, if you're a new student or for some reason we missed adding you, if you do get an error and it says you can't access the VMs, it's probably because we don't have the permissions set up. Everybody has to have permissions set up in the background to make that work. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to get yet another place to put my password in. And we'll just log in. Once you log in, you should get two choices. You're either going to get OKM Creative or you're going to get the Virtual Lab and SAS. This one, Virtual Lab and SAS, those are the generic softwares that are on the OSU server farm. You can access these. We do have access to them. You'll find things like Mathematica in there. You will even find some Adobe products in this folder. However, none of the servers associated with this group have graphic cards installed, which means the performance is going to be not very good. Our OKM Creative group of servers does have high-end graphic cards associated with it, so you should get better service. So I would recommend only using these, but you can use these if you like. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the OKM Creative folder here, and it should jump over to the virtual desktop. It may take a little bit longer than mine to load. Now, I am running this off a pretty good home computer. However, if you're using a slower computer, so let's say like a regular Chromebook, if you're using that, all of the processing power to run your software is running off the server, not your computer. So you don't need a high-end graphics card or computer to run software that you normally would. That's really the whole point of the VM. It's pretty neat. So once we're in this virtual machine space, I'll drive you around and give you a tour of what we're looking at. But the tricky part here is this space right here is not your computer. This is running off of a server that right now is sitting in the OSU server farm at OSU Stillwater. It's just a representation of a desktop. All the software listed here will, when you click on it, will check the license out to you, and you will be able to use that license until you're no longer using the software, like you walk away from your computer or you exit out of the virtual desktop. That part's important when it comes to saving, because you never want to save to the C drive or the desktop of the virtual desktop, because you're saving to a server, not your own computer. I know it's a little confusing. All right. Well, let me give you a tour around here and we can get a few things set up. So first of all, if you want to exit out completely from the virtual desktop, you can hit the X up here in the kind of top right center. If you need to minimize this, you certainly can. You can click the regular minimize window. Or if you want to switch to your home desktop, you can click this button here and it'll switch out to your desktop. And I can just jump right back in. By going down to my icon and just clicking on my icon and switching back to my virtual server. So your desktop and your computer is actually still running in the background. If for whatever reason this desktop crashes, or in my case, it's usually when I reset my mouse, I'll point that out in a second, and you can't access this menu anymore, you can Control Alt Delete and just close everything down. I've had to do that a few times when I've been testing it because I can crash the VMs, and that's how you can get out of it. Under Connect USB Device, I would guess you would want to make sure that Automatically Connected Startup is checked, and you can do that now. What that will do is every time you log into a VM, it will remember that setting and read your USB devices. The important ones to that are your external drives or thumb drives and your Wacom tablet, or in my case, it's a Cintiq. And you can see it's reading all of those automatically. It's also reading my webcam, which doesn't do me much good at all, but doesn't hurt. So I would click Automatically Connected Startup for your USB devices. That's how your external drives can be seen. Under Options, you'll see there's a few things here. You can play around with these. The only ones I'm going to point out are if your mouse is not working right. In other words, it's moving around in an area that you don't think it should be moving around, like it's a foot to the right or the left. You can enable relative mouse. When I do this, it actually cuts off my menu up here, which is annoying, so I have not, but you can certainly play with that. And if you want to switch to your desktop, you can do that here, which is also this button here. And if you want to, I'm sorry, switch to other desktop means that it would switch to that SAS desktop that we saw earlier. So you can do that here. And you can disconnect from here, and you can disconnect and log off if you want. So I usually don't use either of these. I usually just use this little X button. All right, and your software is here. I'm going to cover that in another video, how to use the software. But for now, that's the normal way that you would set up and log on to the VM. So we'll see you in the next video.